Today we have something really fun. I'm going to kind of go over some of the things that are new this month, and we will make something using a few of them together. Hi, Donna. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and just kind of jump right in. Sound okay to you guys? Let me just flip the view really quick. Okay, so today let's just look at the inspiration box really quick. If you are not familiar with the inspiration box, the inspiration box is Brutus Monroe's monthly subscription kit that you can subscribe to. You can purchase it from month to month, but
Michelle says hi.
Hi, Michelle. But it's great if you've got it, if you're already signed up for a subscription so that you don't have that automatically renews each month. That's the best way to go, because there are times when there are not as many kits as you want, and you might miss out. So this is the best way, in my opinion, to go about getting the inspiration box. So the December inspiration box is the sugar and spice inspiration box, and it has so many fun goodies in it.
Donna says hello.
Hi, Donna. You can see it comes with these nice boxes, especially this time of year. Everybody's like happy to have those good boxes. What was that, honey?
Sammy says hello.
Hi, Sammy. Did I miss anyone? Okay, good. So, one of the things you get with the inspiration box is you get a little selection of papers, layering weight cardstock. You get the glitter stock. First off, I'll show you this. I mean, look at that. And I love Brutus Monroe glitter stock because it does not. You can do this, and it's not going to shed all over the place. And then you've got, hi, Mary. And then you've got your layering weight cardstock. So it's not as heavy as some of our other cardstock, but it's great for your cards. You can do a lot with it. And you can see there's, several sheets. And then there are pattern papers that are exclusive to the box. Well, actually, I think you can purchase them separately, but they're only usually around as long as they're available, like on the site, until they sell out, basically. I didn't say that very well, but hopefully you got what I was saying. So we've got all of these different patterns. Looks like we've got 6 different patterns, right? Which I like the fact that this box is fun because it has some things that are sweet and some things that are more savory.
Michelle said you got a salmon mail. She loves it. Says thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome, Michelle. I think this one's my favorite, but I think they all look so good. This is like definitely something that would make me want to eat fruits and veggies. It just looks so good. So you've got a selection of those. You've got 2 each of each pattern. And then there are these, you've got your card bases. Looks like you get 4 of these. And these, I love these. I use these all the time. Very, very convenient. And then you've got 2 more of my favorites. These are one of my favorite Brutus Monroe products. Seriously, they're game changers for me. I really struggle sometimes to get my sentiments stamped just right. And I love that I don't even have to think about it when I want to create something fast. So these are great. These are called conversation clippings, and they come in each box with a variety of different sentiments that you can just cut out and use on your cards or pages, whatever your project may be. This one's fun. It's got secret ingredient is love, live life with a little spice, turn up the beat, butter my biscuits. That one cracks me up. And then you've got, and both the conversation clippings and the card panels are printed with toner, which means that if you use a heat transfer foil, that these would be good for that. So you've got these beautiful vegetables. You'll have to check out our website and look under the products to see some of the things that people have done. Annette made a really pretty card with that. You've got your utensils, you've got this cute kitchen scene, and you've got some cute little mugs. Okay.
Tina says hi.
Hi, Tina. Thanks for joining today. I am in love with Brutus Monroe ribbon. And this is a really cute color combo. And then you've also got a really cute vintagey kind of looking sequin mix as well. So you've got these that coordinate. I'm going to use those. I'll set those aside. And then kind of the crown jewel of the box is your stamp set and your die coordinating dies, which I think is amazing that you get both. This box is seriously the best value. So we're going to use some of this one today. And I don't know that I'll use the dies today because I am going to kind of manipulate the stamp that we're using. So we're going to use that, but quickly I'm going to go over one more thing with you because we are going to use some things from the inspiration box and we're going to use some things from the ATC box, which it has been a monthly club, but going into 2022, it is moving into a quarterly box. And honestly, you're not going to want to miss it. So watch for it to come available again because it is another just really fun kit. So this one comes with this cute utensil set called Bon Appetit. Bon Appetit. You can tell I am not French. And I am in love with the stencil, which we are going to use today. And it also has fluid acrylic, which is only available through the ATC kit. It's really fun to work with. The ATC kit is basically designed to make artist trading cards, but honestly, it really just translates over to card making and scrapbooking as much as anything else, in my opinion. So I can't help it. I have to have it. I subscribe to that one and the inspiration box. So we've got this really cute twine. Definitely using that today. We've got this really cute selection of sequins, and you've got some little beads, which we may even want to incorporate some of those. We'll see. You never quite know. I never quite know what I'm going to do sometimes. And then you've got these doilies, which are really fun. We will be using one of those today. And you've got, of course, your ATCs. These come with 12 ATCs.
Says hello.
Hi, Marianne. Thanks for joining today. You've got your prism paper. You've got, ooh, this is pretty. Can you see that? This is a shimmery gold cardstock. It's kind of a brushed gold. It's really pretty. I like that. And then you've got these cute pattern papers. And another selection of, see, look, these will work for your ATC cards. You could probably get 2 on a sheet, but also this is a standard card size, like an A2 size. So you've got both options available to you. And then you've also got these 6x6 ones. So you've got a whole slew of things to work with. Look at that. Super cute. So we are going to use a doily, and we are going to use the twine, and we are going to use the stencil out of our kit. And I think we should just get right into it now that we've kind of looked at things. There's also, like last week I used, there's a recipe. Well, I've got it right here. I'll just show you. There's a recipe set called Family Traditions. And excuse my packaging. This is just, I can't keep them together very well. I rip these sometimes just because I'm too rough. So I use my little plastic bag that my stuff for my inspiration kit comes in. And it works just great for me to just slide my dies into. But you can see that these coordinate. Last week we made a project using those, so you'll have to check that out.
Robin says hi.
Hi, Robin. You can check that out on the Brutus Monroe YouTube channel if you want. Okay, so I will just show you right away because I'm not going to do this while we are live. But I did pre-emboss a little piece of the heat-resistant vellum. This vellum is amazing. It doesn't warp or anything when you use it. I just wanted this little sentiment here. This is the hand-dipped holiday stamp set, which also has a coordinating die. And this one, I wanted to use this. It says, wishing you a season filled with sweetness. So we're going to use that. And I'm just going to set that aside now so I have a little more space to work. So I've got my pre-cut panel right here, or not panel, but card base. And, oh, I forgot to show you one more thing. I'm so sorry. This was also in the inspiration box. This is embossing powder. This is called Vintage Glass. I haven't tried it out yet, but it looks like it's going to be really pretty. Can you see all that glitter in there? Can you imagine that on a star? Woo! I'm going to have to try that out. Okay, so let's get this going. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of our embossing bag.
Robin said storage is late. Your sister Mary stopped by and Mary says hi to everybody.
Hi Mary, hi Robin, and you know what? You are always welcome whatever time you get here. We're just happy to have you. Okay, so this is Pixie Spray. This is great for stencils. I spray it like maybe 12 inches away, maybe 10 inches probably, and let it kind of get tacky, dry a little bit. And then once you do that, I'm going to fan it a little bit. Then you can stick it over your paper. And I actually already cut this paper out. We'll see how I do, because I tend to use a bigger piece of paper and then die cut it or do whatever after. But it is die cut from the foundation squares. Just so you know, you can kind of see where the size fits in. So we're going to see if I can just do it. Hopefully I can get it lined up okay. Let's just put a little piece of adhesive on it. Get it even going. There, I have to push a little harder. So I'm just going to line that up right there. Get my stencil. It's probably just about right, the right time for that now anyway. And line it up on top. And I think I've got the pattern on there pretty evenly, and at least it's as even as I'm going to worry about. If it's not exactly even, I'm not going to freak out. And then I'm going to take some of our embossing ink. This one is not. I have one that's more for camera and one that's more for personal use. Oh, that one is white. Okay, so this is the embossing ink. It's a clear ink that makes it possible to use our embossing powders, and it is awesome. And we're just going to use this all over the top now that we've used our embossing bag on there. And I think we're probably pretty good on that. I probably have way more on there than I even need, but you know, that's okay. So now let's peel off our stencil. And I'm going to set that to the side. Carefully lift off our panel. And to clean the stencil, I'm just going to squirt it with the Squeaky Clean. I think it's the easiest way to clean it. And I'm just going to wipe it off right now. If I'm doing something really messy, like if I'm using a glaze of some sort, if I'm in the throes of something that my hands are a mess or whatever, I will just throw it in a bucket with water in it, with a little soapy water, and that works out really good. You just don't want to let anything kind of sit on your stencils too long. This stuff is really sticky, so you want to get it off, but it's not going to dry right away anyway. Okay, so I've got that ready to go. Now, let's just... Okay, so I have some embossing powder. Speaking of all of the clubs that Brutus Monroe offers, one of the ones that you can subscribe to is the embossing powder of the month. And I gotta be honest with you, I cannot remember which month it was. It wasn't that long ago, I don't think. But this is called Mint Julep, and I think it is gorgeous. So we are going to use some of that. It is no longer available on the site. I don't know if it's gonna come back, but a lot of times the ones that are from the club are exclusive to the club. So another reason to take advantage of the subscriptions. See if I can get it out without touching it where it shouldn't be touched. Okay. So I think we've got a pretty good coat on there. Am I missing anybody? Kind of got into my thing. Darren?
Nope, I won't say anything.
Okay.
I'm watching you.
You're awesome. Okay. Woo. Kind of missed my little jar. Just want to put our embossing powder back right away so we don't have any kind of craptastrophe. Okay, so now we're ready to heat this up. And I am just going to use my little tweezer things and my heat tool. I can see I have a little hair on the top of this and I don't want it to get embossed. Oh, it's gonna mess up my my dog loves this room and it shows. Well, whoever gets this car gets a little bit of my dog. So we're just going to wait until, if you haven't ever done heat embossing, you have to try it. Heat embossing is what really got me started with stamping. Because before I had seen heat embossing, all the stamping I had done was with stamps that were, you know, specials from the store that weren't craft stores necessarily even. And they just, I didn't have the hang of it. I used to catch the corners, and I remember because I was big into scrapbooking, I'd do a whole layout, I'd go to do the title or whatever, and it would mess it up, and it would make me so mad. And then I went to a party and I saw better stamps, played with them, and then I saw heat embossing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is cool. So
It's magical.
it is magical. It's especially fun when you're using like metallics because that shine is just even more pronounced. So this is a fairly light coat. I think I went over the one that I'm going to show you in a second twice. That's why it's a little bit darker. So we'll use this one, but I'll just save this one for another project. Nothing wrong with it. And then I cut some more squares. I used just the trimmer for these. We're going to use honeysuckle, and I cannot remember if this is Scarlet or if it is, what's the other one, Holly? Let's look and see. This one's Holly. No, this is Scarlet. Okay, so let's just get those on there. Just gonna try to put that on there centered. And then we'll go ahead and put our embossed panel on there so that we're all set up for the next part. Okay. So now the rest is kind of an experiment. So bear with me because you'll be as surprised as I am. Or I should say I will be as surprised as you are with what happens with the rest. I have an idea I want to try out, but since I haven't laid it out completely, like I haven't stamped it out yet, like I said, it's going to be a surprise for both of us. Why should you have all the fun, right? Okay. I can see I'm going to have to watch that I'm on the camera. I'm using a Misty right now. We're going to ink it up. Again, using Raven ink. This ink is really nice if you are a fan of coloring in any way. This is a nice ink for that. It's a nice permanent ink that will work well for alcohol markers or pencils. I use it a lot for pencils. It's just a really good one for that. And I like a nice dark image. I probably don't need to do it that many times, but it kind of makes me happy. So I'm going to. And we're going to stamp this 3 or 4 times. At least 3. I haven't decided if we need it 4 times yet. Has anybody been doing holiday baking yet? I've started gathering ingredients, but I haven't actually made anything yet. I've just talked about it mostly. Do another go at it. Yeah, that looks okay to me. So now let's do one. Let's just do it up here. It's just paper, right? Okay. So I'm kind of gauging on this. I think 3 will be enough. Anybody talking about their holiday baking?
Not yet.
You guys are quiet today. I didn't mean to talk so much.
Show what new ingredients this year, but with the hopes to make cookies. We'll see.
Ah, Michelle. That's half the battle, getting the ingredients in your house, right? Okay, let's just clean off our stamp. And we are ready to color these. And I am going to try to color really fast, which is always, always tricky for me because I get kind of into the process because I do enjoy coloring so much that I forget that I'm on a live and I don't want to do that. don't want to bore you with my coloring. So I'm just going to leave them in here. They're nice and secure right now. And I've pulled aside some Spectrum Noir markers. I prefer the Triblend. I have a couple of those singles in there, but I do prefer the Triblends. I love the fact that I don't even really have to think about it. They're already taken care of for me. So we are going to do a few different cakes here. Let's do some frosting to start. So I think I'm going to test it out down here because sometimes they don't look like the caps, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get a surprise. But these are great. If you have not tried alcohol markers, these are a great entry point. Because, like I said, the getting those other colors is already done for you. That's half the battle.
What color is that?
This one is pale pink. It's the pale pink blend. And now I'm just going to go back through and kind of blend those together. Okay. Now, I didn't put any of the darkest color, but I might put a little bit. This isn't a huge image, so I don't want to overpower it. Do a little bit bit more of the medium. Just kind of blend it out a little bit.
Michelle said, that's finished my Christmas journals for family. Put up my tree, make and send Christmas cards, and then bake. I don't think I'll get it all done.
Oh, Michelle, you need another you. I've felt like that a lot in my experience. Okay, so we've got one thing of frosting done. Let's do a cake that color for fun. Can you see? I'll scooch up a little bit.
Can you move up a little bit? There you go.
It's good not to, you do want to dry your ink a little bit, which I did not do. It's okay. We're all going to live through it. It's not too serious. But it's not a bad idea to hit it with the heat tool when you use as many layers of ink as I did. Okay, so now we're going to go with that medium tone to kind of pull the two together more. And let's just grab that last little bit with the lightest tone. Michelle, I bet you everybody is going to love their books. I love gifts that are made. I think that they are the best ones. They're the most heartfelt. Let's introduce this color in. This is Green Turquoise Blend. Now, they have a green turquoise blend and a blue turquoise blend. And looking at this, it's probably kind of in between, but I think it leans more towards the green. Just trying to decide if I wanted that to be the... I think we'll make that the frosting on this one. Now, to be honest, when I use alcohol markers, a lot of times I use them with in conjunction with colored pencils, just because it's easier for me to shade with them a little bit. But I like to use a little bit of both. This is definitely a quicker method. Let's give it just a little more depth. Blend that out a little bit with our lightest color. Okay, so now we've got some green in there. Let's get some red in there. Let's do, I think we should have one cake that's kind of more of a chocolatey cake. Let's do, this is Tan Blend. And these are the same markers. They changed the tips so that they're a brush marker instead of more like a nib, I guess you would call that. I'm not sure what you call that. Feel free to answer that. Okay, so let's put a little bit of color, just like on the others, just to kind of give it a little more depth.
Tina says bullet tip.
Bullet tip. That's a great term. Thank you, Tina. I should have known you would know. All right. And then let's do this one like a chocolate cake. What do you guys think? let's start with our, well, let's start with medium because I don't know how dark it is. We'll start with the medium and work our way up from there. Yeah, I don't know if we need it that dark, so this is good. And then we'll do some of the darker tone. In fact, I think I'm going to try something, so bear with me. Hopefully I'm not sorry. See how that does. We'll use that medium tone again. Actually, we'll use the darkest tone over here. Kind of blend that out a little bit. I'll go back to that medium tone. Okay, I think that one's pretty good. Now, let's just give this guy, some, should we try red? Let's try some red. Let's try the lightest red first. I'm wondering if we should try the darkest pink. No, let's just try it. Hopefully, it's not too dark for this. But I guess we'll find out, huh? Okay. Now I think I'm going to try something, so bear with me. I'm just going to see what would happen with the...
Donna says looks yummy.
Oh, thanks, Donna. I probably color better than I cook. Okay, so now let's tie it in a little bit more. Let's do this for this plate. So reds for me, they bleed a little easier. I don't know if I'm imagining that or if I just notice it more because they are red. So they're kind of like, hello. But let's see how we do. So I kind of stay away from the edges a little bit. I like to leave a little bit of bleeding room, if that makes sense. And then just kind of dot it if I need to. Like right there's not quite enough to the edge. Okay. So use that one there. Use this one here.
Michelle says, me too.
You have trouble with it bleeding, Michelle? That makes me feel better if I'm not the only one. This one, I think we're gonna shorten a little bit so we don't even need to color that other one. And this one, we will just put that one on a plate. I'm trying to decide if I just want to color that plate brown. Let's just, or do I want it red? We'll just do red. We're kind of on a theme here anyway.
Yep, that was what it was.
All right, well, we just, I knew Benji would have a good couple of weeks of school break, but he's got like 2.5 weeks. I'm like, how does that happen? I never was that lucky. Okay, now I'm not coloring the little berries because I have plans for those. So let's cut these guys out. And I'll show you what my plan is, and we'll see if it works, right? So my plan is to give us like 3 different heights of cakes. Now there are dies that coordinate, and I would say that would be a better route, but because of how I'm cutting out the cake stands, it's not going to work for what we're doing. But thank heavens that we have them for the times when it does work. So I'm going to.
Got on camera?
I just moved. I was hearing your voice in my head.
Yeah, delay. Sorry.
No, it's good. Okay. All right. And again, I'm going to have to remember that I'm live so I don't take too long. But I do want to have a nice cut. I don't want it choppy, right? And that is one of the things that is nice about this inspiration box. You can use it all year long. I mean, look at all the goodies. Think of how cute they'll be for Valentine's Day. And I will show you, if I have time, I'll show you some of the things I thought about for how you can utilize them. Okay, so ultimately, let me just show you what I have in mind. We're going to do something. This is the aged wagon. I used this recently, I know, on one of my videos. So I won't go over it too much, but you can see it has kind of a fun wood grain. And we'll line that up, and then I'm going to fold this in half. Kind of have that going on right there, maybe. But we're going to build, oh, and then we've got our sentiment. I'm hoping will look good right there. Then we're going to build a little display of cakes. I think we're going to have to move it over a little bit. So we have one there. And then what I want to do with this one is I want it a little bit shorter. So we're going to cut out the base. We are going to cut down to this first little knob. We're going to cut this little part out altogether, the little long part of the pedestal. But we're going to keep the base. So this is fun. I think that's one of my favorite things about the holidays. It's just, I love to set out Christmas. We always do our big dinner on Christmas Eve. And I think half the fun is just laying everything out and admiring all of the beautiful things and all of the little treats. And one of the things that our family makes that is a tradition that my mom passed down is she always made these tarts. And they are just our little family's one of the traditions we're able to keep, you know? And so we make these tarts every year, and I think that I like them because they're pretty as much as they are tasty. And so I always like to admire my work. Okay, so then we've got another size. See, you can either cover that little knob or you can pull it out a little bit if you want it a little taller. You've got a choice. And then this guy is going to be a lot faster because we're just going to cut it so it's on a plate. And just an easy way to just get a little more mileage out of your stamp, right? Because that's, you know, you definitely want a variety of heights and such when you're putting your food, like I said, when you display your stuff for Christmas Eve. What are some of your guys' like family traditional foods that you like to have for the holidays?
Gina says brilliant.
Tina, you're so nice. All right, we've almost got that. And now what I like about this is I can stick it right here. I can just go right in a row if I want to. But I kind of like, I don't know, we'll see. We can put them more in the center if we want. And I don't know that I want it completely centered, but maybe a little, like more like that, or we can do that. I think we'll do that. We don't want to cover up that cake stand altogether. So let's go with that. Now we can start kind of assembling it, and then I will show you what we're going to put on our cake top. So let's see. Let's kind of assemble this. This might be a little tricky for me. I hate to measure. I really do. But I do a lot of it. So let's just attach. I think the easiest way to do this is going to be to attach with some tissue tape to the back of our
Tina said we used to
panel.
make cheese ball wreath.
Ooh, yum, Tina. That sounds good. We love cheese and crackers and charcuterie. I think I'm saying that right. Charcuterie board type stuff. That's like our favorite. Okay, so I need to see my little grid. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we want this to be 5 1/4. So I'm gonna look and see. That's 0. Let's go to 5 1/4 up here. So I know that I need to be just about right here. And if I did that right, which is the real question, that should line up okay on our card. I think that looks pretty okay. So then, I think we'll go ahead and attach our little doily. I don't know that it's folded exactly right, but I think it looks better to fold it in half so you don't have that rough edge. You can kind of look and see which side you like better. So I think that works just fine. I am going to put a little piece of tape runner on the inside. And hopefully it doesn't really show on this, but I'm going to put it on the sides so that they don't stick out. Okay. And we'll get this. I think we'll put it up just a little bit higher. Maybe line it up with that right there. Okay, so now we've got our little tablecloth going on. And now I think we need to put on our little sentiment. I think sentiments are the trickiest thing for me. I don't know about you guys, but those are the hardest thing for me to get just right. And what I need to decide is what I want to do right there. I was trying to decide if I want to, you know, we could go this direction. We may change what direction we're going here. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And then I think we'll put like a snowflake or something right there. I think I like that better. Okay, so let's get this attached. I'm kind of hoping the text kind of hides anything. Okay, hopefully that works out okay. Let's see. See if I can get that kind of centered on there. Yep, I think that works just fine. All right, so let's get our cakes on there so that we can kind of have everything where we want it. So on this first one, that one's going to be the one in the background. So I'm just going to use my tape runner for that. And let's get that guy on there. And then let's get our, let's do this one on a foam dot. Ooh, that's going to be tricky. I just realized one thing about that that's going to be hard is we've got the 2 pieces to it, right? So I'm actually going to use squares on this one because it'll be easier to just cut off a corner of my square to make it fit. Still even a little bit too big. We'll cut off a different corner. So hopefully we can do that without it showing. Bear with me while I kind of get it positioned on my paper just right so it doesn't show. And you know what? I'm just going to cut it down a little bit because when you cut down foam, that is a kind of tricky thing about it. Okay, so let's get our base on there first. And I guess we're going to put it right here. Hopefully it's where we want it because that's where it's going. And we'll use the rest of our square on the cake itself. So now we've got a little bit more depth, and then on this one, we are going to, I'm just trying to see if the foams were the same. They're pretty close. We may just use 2. Do we want it there? Or do we want it here? Looks like we want it here. I probably could, let me see if it's still, because it's on the embossing powder, that gives us a little more grace for getting it on and off, because they are quite sticky. And the longer they're there, the stickier they get, I think. So let's move that down a little bit. It is a little tricky getting that straight. And then we'll put this more right there. Yeah, I like that better. So let's put a couple of our foam dots on that. And now we've got, that one's going to stick out a little bit more because we've got the 2 dots on it. And maybe that will secure that a little better. Okay, so we've pretty much got those in place. Let's see, I think we'll tie a double bow. So I'm just going to kind of crisscross. So I'll do this really slow. So you're going to just want to do kind of a figure 8. And then go down through this, between your fingers. And pull a loop. And that'll give you your little double bow. And that should fit just right. I actually probably should have made it just a little smaller. Let's do it one more time. I've got big fingers. If I had daintier hands, it would have worked better. Okay, so we'll try that one more time. I'm going to leave my fingers a little closer together. But you won't be able to see it as easily. But doing the very same process. Now I just got to be able to get my fingers back out. There we go. Yeah, I think that's a better size. Okay, so now we've got our little double bow. We don't want to cover up our, and that might be better up there. I'm really wanting it down here. What do you guys think? Let's set it aside for a minute while we do the tops of the cakes, and then we'll decide. Okay, so these are Sprinkletz. I don't know that this particular variety is available. I don't think it is, but Darren's putting up a couple that are very similar that are on the Brutus Monroe site right now. So we're just going to take a little variety of those. Oh, it looks like the tape's on the side. Give me just 1 second to cut the tape. And we're just going to pour a few of them out. And we'll just put them back in after. Okay. So, I thought it would be fun.
Karen said, "Bow might look cuter under the sentiment too."
Oh, under the sentiment is a good idea. This section right here feels like it needs something, but maybe we'll put some dots or something there. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's a good idea, Karen. I'm kind of liking this. So these are just these little sprinklets, like I said. And they come in so many varieties. They are a lot of fun. And now you can see why I said you might want to cut them off altogether. You can if you want. I'm not sure I'm going to use them on all of them. I might end up just coloring some of them. But I'm liking them enough that we'll see. It's kind of fun. We might mix up a few things. We've got some little candy canes. I've also got some of the sequins we can use if we want. So if we want to add some, it would probably be the red ones.
Sprinkles on the table to the right, says Michelle.
Some sprinkles. Sprinklets. Yeah, we could do that, or we could add some, I'm thinking we might just add some sequins or something. It definitely needs something on the right. I agree with you. Or we might use these. So this is what's so fun, is you can just kind of experiment. I think we'll use these on our cake. Got some static going on. The little sequin stuff is sticking to me. I think that works out fine. Gives us a little more color. And then we'll see what we do with this cake. But we for sure are going to be doing these peppermints right now because I am loving those. So I'm just going to put the glue on ahead of time because I think it'll be easier. And I'm going to pull out this handy tool. This is the detail grabber, and it is great when you're working with little things like the sequins in particular. So let's just put a little dab. Hopefully I've got it in basically the right spot. And we'll put one of these up. Let's put a smaller one. It does look like they have a little bit of a variety in the sizes. So I may pour a few out more. Oh, we definitely got some more out. Though these ones all seem to me about the same size. Of course, right? Let's put another big one there. I'm hoping to find a couple more of the small ones. I like the small ones for the bottom. I will probably transfer these into another receptacle anyway. Reciprocal? You know what I mean. Here's another small one. We'll move that guy. It felt weird. You know when a word you say all the time just sounds weird to you? Having one of those moments. Okay. So I love that cake. I think that is the funnest thing. Okay, so now let's decide what we want to do with these. If we want them all on there or with other things. I think maybe we'll do a mix on one of them. I think I need to pull out maybe another sequin selection. Okay, so we're definitely going to be utilizing the detail grabber here in a second. Okay, so let's put our glue on first. And I think we'll do these ones down here. And I'm just putting them here, but it's going to be interesting to see where everything kind of lands. We will just play it by ear for now. That's just kind of what you do in a live. You have to kind of roll with it. But see how awesome this detail grabber is? I would be grabbing these forever trying to get a hold of just one.
Michelle says, oh yes, pink and brown sequins. Love that pack.
Yeah, I do too. I love our sequins. I love our ribbon. I just love all the things. All the little fun things. The details are the fun part, right? Of course, I love it all, so go figure. Okay, so we are going to put these little guys in with the sequins, I think. Because I don't think we want the whole cake to be gingerbread guys. Though I hope you can see them okay. All right, so now for this last one, let's put some of the, maybe we'll do some candy canes and some sequins. I have to put that pen right back in or else I lose it every time. I'm amazed I still have it, to be honest with you, because I lose it all the time. I need to take the time to make a foam square for the, I should do it right now. I'm just going to do it right now. Michael has a great trick where you grab a piece of foam, stick it on your bottle, then I can stick it right in there when I'm not using it. See? Brilliant. And that took me all of 2 seconds. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. Everybody do that if you don't want to lose your pin. Okay, let's kind of scooch that over because I kind of think since we've got 4 on the other one, we probably just want 3 on this one. But we still want to kind of cover up the stuff behind it. Okay, so now let's try putting some candy canes on that. I think we're going to need a little bit more glue. Let's start with 2 and see what we think. And let's do that one, go in a different way. Maybe we'll have one kind of tucked up behind. I think it's too precise the other way. Let's kind of have them piled in there. I'm going to try to lift that up a little bit. Trying. These little itty bitty things are a little tricky to work with sometimes when you have big fingers. Okay, there we go. That's sticking to me, but I think I got it. We'll get this guy back on there. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's put another one on there. I think maybe we might need another sequin in there after all. Well, this is good. This is a little tiny one. That'll be cute. So maybe we'll put one on the side and call that good. Don't these look yummy? This would be fun for your holiday spread. Oh, that one looks like it's begging to go on. But I think we need to flip it the other way. So I'm going to take one that's already facing that way. Maybe.
Ellen says, nothing using tiny decorations to make you suddenly feel like a giant.
It's true. That is very, very true. It does, when you're using embellishments, it makes you feel like a giant. I think we got it. I think we're good. What do you think? You guys think it looks all right?
Michelle and Ellen like the card.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Michelle and Ellen. I think we need a couple more little doodads on it. So let's see what these, maybe those, maybe add a little bit of shimmer. I think we definitely need something down in here. So we'll do a big one and a little one. And we'll do one kind of up in here, I think. I think. And then I think we'll put our little bow. I'm going to trim down the edges a little bit more. My rule of thumb is to just barely go over the length of the loops. A tiny bit. And I think that we need a little clip on there. We'll just kind of, just got these little wooden clothespins. I think that works just fine. And now we can just put it on our card base. So I think
this is very nice.
Thank you, Marianne. Oops, that one didn't go. There we go. I think we just about have it. You know, honestly, I just about had that on there. But I think for this, because we do have the dimension of that little clip, this is probably better with foam to kind of pull it up a little bit so it gives room for that clip to lay against the card. Whoops, I just took the clip right out. You may have to find another one. Hang on one sec. Got the clip. Let's get our card on first. Now when I use foam to mount my cards to my base, I usually put one in the middle because you don't want all of the sides to poke out and then to have a concave center, right? You know, if you have anything on it at all, how that's going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and try sticking this on before I put the card down. And I think I've got it. And hopefully I can get this on there straight because foam is a little less forgiving than some other things are. And there you have it. Super fun kind of melding of the ATC kit and the inspiration kit together. And just one more kind of, one last nod to Christmas before next week. Next week I'll probably do a different, I probably won't do a Christmas project. If I do, it'll be something that you can make really fast, last minute, but I haven't thought that far ahead, to be honest with you. So we will wait and see what next week brings. Let me just flip my phone really quick. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had so much fun creating this little card. So much fun. This would make fun little tags too, and this set is packed. This is one stamp basically from that stamp set, and there are 31 pieces. So if you can't find something in your 31 pieces, you're crazy. All right, 31 pieces in your stamp set. I was still thinking that I was had the camera view down. Sorry about that. Tons to play with. All right, thank you so much. I will see you next week, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Stay safe, get your fun holiday shopping done, and I will talk to you then. Bye-bye.